Happy New Year, Gung Hei Fa Choi. I am wishing you a happy and healthy New Year.
Wishing you a happy new year and good health. Gung Hei Fa Choi.
Happy New Year! 恭喜发财!
Hi everyone, I'd like to wish everyone a happy and prosperous Chinese New Year. It's been a very challenging year, but we can do this virtually, and I'd like to wish everyone Gong Hei Fat Choi, which means Happy New Year in Chinese. Bye.
Hello, my friends and neighbors. My name is Charles D'Alessandro of the Marine Park Alliance. Welcome to our annual celebration of the Chinese New Year. The year is 4719, the year of the ox. This year we're doing it virtually. We have demonstrations and celebration. Please enjoy our show.
Hot Choi, everyone, and thank you, Charles, for the introduction. My name is Christy DiCario, and I'm a volunteer in Marine Park. I've been volunteering for more than 21 years now, starting first off at the Saltmarsh Nature Center. I say that because, as a volunteer, there was a ranger named Valerie Francis, and Valerie actually started this whole Marine Park Chinese New Year celebration. So in the tradition of having it go on, we've decided to do it virtual. And I'm very excited and I'm very grateful that you joined us today for the celebration. So in the privacy of your own home, just sit back, relax, and here we go. We are welcoming in the year of the ox, the Chinese New Year of 4719. What that really comes down to is that the Chinese New Year follows the Chinese lunar calendar. So that's why it's the year 4719. We follow the Gregorian calendar, which is when our New Year's Eve falls on January 1st. But hey, this is a good opportunity for those of you who may have slacked off on your New Year's resolutions to have a whole new clean start fresh with the Chinese New Year. It's a time for fresh starts. It's a time to spend with family, to honor them, to enjoy feasts, fireworks, dancing, bright lights. It signifies the end of winter, although I feel like winter is going to be around for a long time. But it also brings, celebrates the welcoming of spring. It's referred to as the Lunar New Year or the Spring Festival as well. Now, this year, the Chinese New Year started at midnight on Friday, February 12th. It will end after a 15-day celebration, that's 15, with a Lantern Festival on February 26th. However, next year, the Chinese New Year will fall on February 1st. So why is it going to be on a different date? What's the story with that? Well, the reason is because the date is based on the Chinese lunar calendar, which revolves around the moon cycle. The new year begins after the second new moon, after the winter solstice, which falls on December 21st. Each moon begins with a new moon, and the moon runs about 29 to 30 days. So the winter solstice again fell on December 21st. So the first new moon after the winter solstice was on January 13th. The second new moon fell on February 11th. So that is the reason why the New Year started on February 12th. It all has to do with the moon cycle and the lunar calendar. So now in front of you, you'll see the dates for the Chinese New Year's. The Chinese New Year, they go in a 12-year cycle. So starting last year, we with the New Year on January 25th, that was the beginning of the 12-year cycle. You're going to see it in the animal year in the middle column. That was the year of the rat. And when you drop down to the next row, you're going to see that's the year of the ox. So we are in the second year of a 12-year cycle. So with the rat being the first, the ox, the tiger, the rabbit, and so on. Well, how did it get named? Why is the rat at the top of the list? Well, the story goes that when it was coming to having these 12-year cycles and the naming of the Chinese New Year's, were animals, that the animals kind of got into little arguments and trying to figure out who was going to be the first one named for the 12-year cycle. So they bickered a lot. And finally, the gods, they stepped in and they said, you know what? We're going to resolve this. What you're all going to need to do is run a race. And part of the race was crossing a river. So whoever got to the other side of the river, they would be named the animal, the first animal to represent the first Chinese New Year. So you can tell probably it was the rat who won the race. Well, the rat was pretty clever. He actually climbed on the ox, who was swimming very, very fastly across the river. And when the fox got to the edge of the river, the rat jumped off and it won the race. Right. So the new cycle, as far as the 12-year cycle, will start in 2013. And what's going to be different about that is that they add an element, a different element to each year, to each 12-year cycle. So the cycle that we're in right now is metal. So it's an element that they add to each 12-year cycle. So this is the year of the metal ox. So when it starts up in 2013 with the new cycle with the rat, that is going to be the element with water. So it will be the water rat. And after another 12-year cycle, then it will be wood. And then another 12 years, it will be fire. And then another 12 years, it will be earth. So again, each year has an animal named and an element that goes along with it. So you can see, who won the race again was the rat, and then the ox and the tiger and the rabbit. So it all goes in that order, depending on what place they came in with the race. Now, the origin of the Chinese New Year. So what you see in front of you is a very scary monster named Nan. Nan also means year. And this monster would go and visit a village, and he would scare the residents and they would all flee. But he would also, ones that he got, he would eat, okay? He liked to eat livestock and he liked to eat people. So when the new year would come up, the villagers would flee the village and, escape from Nan. So there came an old beggar, and this was really a long, long time ago. And he traveled throughout China, he traveled all around China. And he came to an empty village, right? Thought it was pretty strange. He found it, it was empty. There was nothing alive, not even a plant. But then all of a sudden, he heard someone crying in the distance. He followed the sound, and he found an old lady all alone and crying in her home. The old beggar asked the old lady for some food, which the lady kindly gave him. He then asked the old lady, "What happened to the village? Why is there no one here?" Well, the old lady said every year a monster called Nan would wake up from hibernation and come to the village to eat all the animals and people. That's why everyone has run away. So my question is, how come she didn't run away? Well, the old beggar, he was very wise, and he taught the old lady how to scare the monster away, by preparing these things. The first, stick some red paper on the door. The second was to find some bamboo and make a fire with it outside of your house. And the third thing, the most important part of this whole thing, is make some dumplings. Okay. Well, she thought this was kind of strange, but what the beggar had said. But she thought, why don't I just do it? Anyway, there's no other way for me to make it through the night. So she stuck red paper on the wall by the front door and made a fire in front of her house with a bamboo. She then started chopping the pork to make mince for the dumplings. Well, guess what this did? This scared the monster, right? He was scared at the sound of the chopping meat, the red paper, the fire, and the sound of the burning bamboo. So he ran away and he never went back to the village. Well, the villagers, they were happy and they returned. They were so happy to hear that the monster had left. So every year since, they cook a big feast and they celebrate this special day. And that is the story. That is the legend of the Chinese New Year. So who celebrates it? About 2 billion people worldwide in some form celebrate the Chinese New Year. That's a quarter of the world's population. The population of the People's Republic of China, that's about 1.4 billion right there. Other Asian countries celebrate the Lunar New Year. They celebrate it as national holidays. And there's over 2 million Chinese that currently reside in the United States. And just, as of recent years, in New York City, the Chinese New Year, well, the schools are closed, an observation of it. As far as what it's like, it's full of traditions and rituals. Preparation starts days before, much like, before the holidays, like people prep for Christmas, with shopping, new clothes, shoes, a haircut, and of course, cleaning the house. Cleaning the house is very important. It's done on the 24th day of the 12th lunar month, which came out to be February 5th this year. Belief is that cleaning the house will sweep away the bad luck that has accumulated inside over the past year. It's a chance to leave the problems of the previous year behind. It is important to start the new year fresh and clean, a nice clean house. Decorating the house is also important, especially decorating it with red. Red is an important color in Chinese culture. It's a color or symbol of good luck. The number 8, this also symbolizes good luck as well. And luck signs, they put up luck signs. I'm sure you've probably seen them. When they're hung upside down, it means luck has arrived. The most popular signs are probably the upside down character of Fu. Fu in Chinese means luck, happiness, and prosperity. And shopping, again, that is really important. That happens on the 20th day of the 12th month of the lunar month. Okay, so this was February 8th. Important activity on this day. People will purchase the fireworks, the couplets, toys, anything that goes along with the celebration. They'll also buy, which is very important, new clothes that they'll wear for the next year. So starting fresh and buying and wearing new clothes is important, especially new red clothes. Red, again, is associated with joy and good fortune, and it symbolizes prosperity. They say to avoid the color black, which black is bad luck. And as far as haircut, that's an important must before the New Year's. You need to get a trim. Cutting anything during that time is considered bad luck. So not even holding scissors, doing anything, any type of cutting, not good during the New Year celebration time. Then as far as on New Year's Eve, this is important, a very, very cheerful, upbeat day. People will paste the Spring Festival couplets up, and when they're all pasted, the festive atmosphere, will be felt in every corner of China. And so what couplets are, well, first off, they're hung around doorways and they are intended to bring luck to the household for the coming year. Red spring couplets are used to scare off that monster, remember Nyan? Store owners will use them as well, and you will see them in pairs on doors. And as far as the traditional family reunion dinner, this is very important. This is a very important part of the New Year's celebration. And this takes place on New Year's Eve. The tradition says that you shouldn't do any cooking on New Year's Day. So many people eat large meals on New Year's Eve. And as far as some food that's important, fruit's very important. Oranges for good fortune, they bring money and wealth. Tangerines, good luck and prosperity. And tangerines with the leaves still intact, this signifies long-lasting relationships. So this is very, very symbolic. Other things to eat, traditional foods like fish and jai, chicken, la pak ko, lin guo, sticky rice cake, noodles. Noodles are very important. See, I've got my noodles going right here, as well as desserts. Another thing that is very traditional and also very important and plays a significant role are dumplings. All right, they tend to resemble what they would say would be ancient Chinese gold. So I've got my dumplings. I am definitely ready to go. But since this is virtual and we can't share dumplings with each other, and maybe you don't even, you want to make some dumplings. Well, we have a wonderful a local resident named Christina Chang, and she is going to do a dumpling cooking demonstration. So I'm going to turn this over to Christina, and I hope you enjoy.
Hi, my name is Tina. On behalf of the Marine Park Alliance, we're here celebrating the Chinese New Year by making dumplings. Here is some ground chicken, about 1.5 pounds. We start with that, and then we have some ingredients here. that are traditionally Chinese. We have tofu, bean sprouts, some green onion or scallion, and we have our liquid ingredients here, about a tablespoon of sesame oil, soy sauce, and a little bit of black pepper. Here we have them all chopped up. The tofu here, though, because it sits in water, needs to be drained. So you just take like a thin kitchen cloth and take pieces of the tofu and strain it, squeeze it out. And here we have the crumbled version of the tofu, and that goes in first. And then we have our bean sprouts chopped up and also drained, because in order to make the dumpling, there cannot be any moisture inside. So that's the second ingredient. And then we have the chopped scallions, that in. And then we have our sesame oil, soy sauce, and black pepper mixture. That's our flavor. And then you just mix up all the ingredients. The next step is to put them in the dumpling wrappers, and we'll show you that in a moment. And we're going to assemble the dumplings now, and we start off with dumpling wrappers, and you could buy these at any Asian supermarket. Secondly, we have 1 egg mixed with a 1/4 cup of water to act as a glue, and then we have the meat mixture that we made previously. So now you take 1 dumpling wrapper, you take about a teaspoon or a tablespoon, depending how large the wrappers are, into the dumpling wrapper. And you don't want to overstuff them, because then they'll be very hard to close up. You take the glue with your finger and you just spread it around the edge of the wrapper. And then when you're closing, you take it at the middle, and then you just follow through to the very end on one side and on the other. Now I like to make a little indentation, and you just take your fingers and you squeeze together to make this little indentation. And there you go. There's your dumpling. This is the finished product. We have our traditional Chinese bamboo steamer. So you usually steam them about 15 to 20 minutes. And here's the final product. Aren't they beautiful? I'm going to try one for you. Just a little bite, because I know they're delicious, because I've made these many times. Wow, really good. We're wishing you a happy new year filled with prosperity, success, and good luck. Thank you very much for joining us today.
All right, thank you so much, Christina, for your dumpling demonstration. Yum, yum, yum. So everyone, here is the recipe. So if you want to take a screenshot, you want to take a picture with your camera, please go ahead and do so. And I'm sure maybe possibly we could post this on the Marine Park Alliance Facebook page if you want to find it. But definitely that was wonderful. And here you go. And I'll just give it a few seconds and make sure you get some ground chicken, bean sprouts, tofu, scallions, sesame oil, soy sauce, black pepper, egg, 1 egg it looks like, and some dumpling wrappers, any things that you can buy at the local grocery store. All right, and directions as well. So hope you had enough time to look at that, took a screenshot, took a photo, but definitely I will ask them if they will post that on the Marine Park Alliance's Facebook page so that you can get it. Okay, and thank you again, Christina. So after dinner's been eaten and now it's midnight, right? Shu Soy This is after dinner, midnight. The firecrackers go off to welcome in the new year. Children stay up late as they can, as this means that it's going to be a longer life for their parents. Doors and windows are open to let the old out. And during this time, during the celebration time, red envelopes are given out. They're known as Lacey in Cantonese and Hongboy in Mandarin. And with that, giving red envelopes comes money, treats in it. It's a tradition, helps to scare away the evil spirits and also to bring good fortune. Red envelopes are given to children and unmarried adults, and married couples also give red envelopes to their parents as well. Now, money must be in new bills, and the total amount must be an even number. Certain numbers such as 4, don't do it. That's bad luck. So the total amount should not be one of these unlucky numbers. 4 is a homonym for death. So a red envelope should never contain like $4, $40, $400. Don't do anything with 4s. As far as how to receive it, got to do it with both hands. If you don't use both hands, it's looked at as being impolite to just accept it with one hand. When receiving, express thanks and greet the giver with a pleasing, a very, very sweet, phrase. Never open the red envelope in front of the person who just gave it to you. Do so in private and when you get home. And as far as how much to give, well, for example, parents, they say $5 to $2,000 yen, sorry, which would be about $100 to $300 in US dollars. And then I like this one, the employers, your employers, wow, anywhere from $20 to $200. I could take some extra money. But red envelopes, it's really great. They're really great to receive and they're really great to give as well. And as far as if you can't do it in person, well, no problem. With the internet, now you can just virtually send it to someone. So in looking back to February 4th through the 9th, back in 2019, there were more than 843 million people that sent digital red envelopes to express their blessings and wishes to others. And as far as during New Year's, yeah, you got to stay calm. You got to be nice, all right? Chinese New Year is a time of happiness and good fortune, and it's important to spread the goodwill. Avoid having any quarrels, fights, or negative attitudes. These will only bring you bad luck, all right? So play nice when you're out there. Be sure to wish everyone Gung Hum Fat Choi. Again, that means it's wishing others prosperity and wealth. And as far as coming towards the end, during this time, people are visiting family, they're visiting friends, they're going out celebrating. Most return back to work around the eighth day of it. But as mentioned before, the Lantern Festival will conclude the whole celebration, and that will happen on the 15th day. So during the Lantern Festival, children go out at night to temples and they carry paper lanterns, and there's usually a parade through the streets. The dragon dances take place, and that's to scare off the evil spirits, bad luck, whatever it might be. 20 to 30 foot dragons. Then they also have what they call lantern riddles, and this is a popular traditional activity that they do during the festival. They're guessing games that involve solving riddles written on lanterns or in slips of paper attached to lanterns. So you can see what I have on here, the lantern riddles that have been written, attached to lanterns down so that people can guess, what the answer is to the riddle. So let's see how good you are as far as when it comes to lantern riddles. What gets broken without being held? Okay, so what gets broken without being held? You think you know? Are you ready for the answer? A promise. All right. How'd you do? How about this one? What room can no one enter? Okay, so what room can no one enter? You have any ideas? Are you ready for the answer? A mushroom. Ta-da, mushroom. Paul's height is 6 feet. He's an assistant at a butcher's shop and he wears size 9 shoes. What does he weigh? Okay, I'll read it to you again. Paul's height is 6 feet. He's an assistant at a butcher's shop and he wears size 9 shoes. What does he weigh? Do you think you know the answer? Are you ready? Meat. Yes, he works in a butcher shop and he weighs meat. And what kind of tree can you carry in your hand? What kind of tree can you carry in your hand? You think you know the answer? Are you ready? A palm tree. All right, how we doing? 4 for 4? Let's see. What has a head and a tail, but no body? What has a head and a tail, but no body? You think you know the answer? Gonna do 5 for 5? Huh? You ready? A coin. Very good, very good, very good. All right. So with that being said, I thought this was the perfect way to segue into our craft for this event. And it's going to be a lantern craft.
So what you're going to need is some tape, some scissors, and some Chinese red envelopes. The first thing that you're going to do is cut off the top of the envelope, which is a little flat. We will be using this part later. The next thing that we are going to do is fold the envelope in half. Make sure the picture is facing up. After that, you want to take your pair of scissors and cut little slits halfway. Make sure you do not cut it all the way, otherwise it is not going to work. Once you are done, unfold the envelope and yours should look like this. After that, you're going to take one end and meet it with the other end. Try to make like a cylinder form, just like what I'm doing. Once your envelope looks like mine, take a piece of tape and connect the ends together. And remember that little part that we cut off in the beginning? You're going to take each end of that part and connect it to the lantern, making it into a hoop. And now you're all done. You can actually make multiple of these little lanterns, put them on a string, and use them as decorations around your house.
So as far as coming back to what we started off towards the beginning of the presentation was about the Chinese zodiac. It's very similar to very, very much like a Western zodiac. You know, if you're looking at the Capricorns, if you're looking at the Pisces or whatever it is. Every year, as I mentioned before, is represented by a zodiac animal for the entire year. And we know that it's based on a 12-year cycle. In Chinese culture, the zodiacs play an important role and they are closely related with people's characteristics, career, health, and love, and bring good fortune in the new year. I do want to say this is all for entertainment purposes. This is just to have fun with. This is strictly for entertainment purposes. Okay, so looking at the characteristics of an ox, I thought I would show what the characteristics are, more in depth of the ox, since it is the year of the ox. You can see the years that the oxes, people that were born in those years that are oxes. The only thing is you got to remember that the dates are going to be different when the Chinese New Year started. So depending on where you were born in January, February, you might not be an ox, even though you were born in that year. So the years include 1937, you can see 1949, 61, 73, 85, 97, then finally into 2000 to 2009, and now we're at 2021. So what are some of the personality traits of an ox? Well, tough, honest, faithful. Some of their strengths is persistence, cautious, patient. Weaknesses, they're stubborn, tardy, factitious. All right. And according to Chinese zodiac, the personality, most of them are conservative and traditionalistic. They have traditional personalities. They impress people with an image of endurance, honesty, and diligence. They seldom fear for any hardships or difficulties. They are persistent but stubborn, cautious but hesitant, moody and quick-tempered. Oh my. And it appears Napoleon was typical in many ways of being an oxen, with certain very noticeable failings with the sign of the ox. Okay, who knew? So what is the forecast for all of us for the year of the ox? And remember, this is strictly for entertainment purposes only. All right. This year is going to be lucky and also perfect to focus on relationships, whether we are talking about friendships or love. In the Chinese zodiac, the ox is very hardworking and methodological. So 2021 is going to be a year when work will get rewarded, and those zodiac signs who are lucky in terms of money this year will be the ones that will make a considerable effort. This is going to be a year when we feel fully feel the weight of our responsibilities, a year when it is necessary to double our efforts to accomplish anything at all. White is the color for the year, and the lucky colors of the ox are yellow and green. So colors that in feng shui will attract prosperity and success. To increase your luck, wear metal accessories. Get it? This is the metal year of the ox, all right? This year, and I love this, no explosive or catastrophic events will occur. So it is a favorable year for economic recovery or consolidation, a year of long-term investments, especially for creating a reserve stock for the coming unproductive years. The year is also great for making order in the family life. After all, if the family life is peaceful, everything gets solved. Thus, 2021 is a year when all the problems get solved with discipline, a lot of discipline, obviously, with an extra effort from us in organizing our time. Well, it sounds like it's going to be a good year, but a lot of work. So it appears we have to put effort in to reap these rewards. But I think it sounded like it's going to be pretty good. So as far as the forecast for the ox itself, I've listed for all the zodiac animals, the year, as you can see down there, 1937, 1949, and the characteristics. So we've already done the ox, but I'll say it again: diligent, dependable, strong, and determined. So the year 2021 promises to be a highly fruitful year for the ox, with a lot of cheer and power. Professionals will be rewarded financially. So how about the tigers? Well, they are brave, confident, and competitive. So for the tigers, you can minimize the damage in 2021 by facing adverse situations with patience, calmness. New ventures should be postponed. Remember, this is for entertainment purposes only. All right. And what about the rabbit? Well, they're quiet, elegant, kind, and responsible. Rabbits will have to negotiate difficulties with great skill and discretion. You should not expect too much from others in this Chinese New Year. And now we're looking at the dragons, all right? Confident, intelligent, and enthusiastic. It is essential to be meticulous and diligent in executing the various projects you undertake to maximize profits. Do you get that, dragons? Okay. And now the snakes. Enigmatic, intelligent, and wise. Okay, so snakes, to achieve success, you must be sensible and seek the cooperation of others. Think twice before venturing into new areas during the new year. And now looking at the horses. All right, animated, active, and energetic. People in business will have a great year in 2021 and will accomplish their targets by diligence. It is essential, horses, to maintain a good relationship with others. Now the sheep, they're calm, gentle, and sympathetic. Sheep, the last quarter of 2021 will bring some relief to your hardships. The year 2021 will be highly complicated. It will be a highly complicated year for you. So good luck. Okay. And now the monkeys. Well, sharp, smart, and curious. All right. So monkeys, if you want to succeed, you must be stable, persistent, and dependable. Relationships with your spouse and family members, there will be enjoyable. So that sounds like that's pretty good. And then the roosters, observant, hardworking, and courageous. This year, 2021, promises to be a fabulous year for the roosters. Ooh, you will achieve success with the help of your social contacts. All right, with your social contacts. And dogs, woof, woof, all right, lovely, honest, and prudent. Dogs' devotion, diligence, and persistence will enable you to achieve results. You should take decisions after proper thinking and stay away from conflicts. All right, so think things over carefully before you make decisions. And pigs, they're compassionate, generous, and diligent. Pigs, you will have many openings to enhance profits, and speculative ventures will succeed. Control your anger if you want to be successful. All right. Be careful, pigs. Keep it cool. Keep it cool. All right. And lastly, the rat. Quick-witted, resourceful, versatile, and kind. See, now we know why they were the ones that won the race. Okay. Well, the rat should be prepared to face a lot of challenges in his or her career during the year 2021. Life with spouse and family will be harmonious and enjoyable. Wow. So I covered all 12 of them. And again, this is strictly for entertainment and just for fun. Now, do you think you can name that ox? All right. Famous for his Tonight Show that ended in 1992 and handed off to Jay Leno. So who is this famous person that was born in the year of the ox? Again, famous for his Tonight Show that ended in 1992 and handed off to Jay Leno. You got it? You ready? Why? It's none other than Johnny Carson. All right. So Johnny Carson, he did the Tonight Show for more than about 30 years. He was on until he retired back in 1992. He passed back in January of 2005 at the age of 79. And what about this person that was born in the year of the ox? She was the people's princess and mother of William and Harry. She was the people's princess and mother of William and Harry. Think you know it? Those are pretty good clues. All right, well, born as Diana Spencer, but we all knew her as Lady Di, who was the Princess of Wales. So she was born in July 1st of 1961, and so that makes her an ox. And what about this person that was also born in the year of the ox? He's a master of the blues. His first name consists of 2 letters. Who do you think this could be? Master of the blues. His first name consists of 2 letters. Are you ready? None other than B.B. King. And he was born, really his full name is Riley B. King. a great blues musician. And he died at the age of 89 back in May of 2015, but very, very, very influential blues musician of all time, unique style, truly wonderful. He's great, great. And then what about this person? She's the first Asian player to reach the #1 women's world ranking in tennis. Who is this famous person that was born in the year of the ox? She is the first Asian player to reach the #1 women's world ranking in tennis. You ready? Here we go. Naomi Osaka. All right. Well, she is a true champion. All right. She won, let's see, a winner of 2 Grand Slam tournaments, the US Open, defeating Serena Williams. I remember that one. And she also won the Australian Open in back in 2019. And then lastly, do you think you can name this famous person that was born in the year of the ox? He is New Jersey born, and he's the boss. He's New Jersey born, and he's the boss. Are you ready? It's none other than Bruce Springsteen. Yes, still making great music to this day. And I was, oh, wow, when I looked down and I realized he's 71 years old and still doing it and doing wonderful things. Okay. Now, some other famous oxens you can look on here. You know, we've got Neve Campbell at the top, Jack Nicholson, Bill Cosby, Malcolm X, Meryl Streep's in there, Walt Disney, Clark Gable. I'm just scanning, you know, as I look, Katie Lang, Kate Moss, Anthony Hopkins, who we got? Dante, Hans Anderson, Gerald Ford, Art Buchwald, Jane Fonda, William Buckley, Margaret Thatcher. That's just to give you an idea. Now, it says the oxens tend to be stubborn, dogmatic. It's a my way, or it's the highway kind of people who have no concept of when to back down. You think any of these people fit that description, that characteristic? So going back to the last day of the Chinese New Year, as I mentioned before, it's going to be with the Lantern Festival. Very festive, lots of dances. It's going to be the 15th day where it all officially ends, February 26th. So since we can't attend any dragon dances, we thought it would be really, really nice that if we brought a really nice dance piece to you that you could enjoy. So I want to thank the Brooklyn Dance Center and 2 really cute sisters, Lexington Chong and Madison Chong, who will be performing a special Chinese New Year celebration fan dance. So here you go. You get your dance for the Chinese New Year. Right, so big thank you to those wonderful dancers from the Brooklyn Dance Center, Sisters Madison Chong and Lexington Chong, and also a big thank you to Gil Krog, who is the owner of the Brooklyn Dance Center, for arranging this special presentation for this performance. I just want to say, hey, if you've got that New Year's resolution where you've always wanted to learn to dance, hey, it's the start of a new year. The Brooklyn Dance Center is home to children, pre-K, all the way up to adults. You want to learn dancing? They've got some great classes. You can do it virtual. You can come into the studio, whatever you want to do. What I suggest is I give them a call. You know, there's a number right there. You can check them out, you know, on Facebook. They've got a website, they've got Instagram. So if your New Year's resolution is to learn to dance or maybe just dance, I would say definitely, you know, reach out to the Brooklyn Dance Center. And again, a big thank you for that wonderful dance performance. Now, I'm coming up to the end of my time with you. And I want to say I appreciate you staying with me and observing this wonderful tradition that we've been having going on for 21 years. So I want to say Gung Hung Fa Choi to all of you. May this be a prosperous new year, a great year for you, and only truly best wishes. And my biggest wish is that next year, you know, around February 1st, we'll all be together at the Carmine Caro Center celebrating in person. All right. So for now, please take care. And I'm going to go ahead and turn this over to Charles De La Alessandro from the Marine Park Alliance. And I do want to say thank you to them for carrying on this tradition. So everyone, goodbye and have a wonderful, prosperous new year.
And that's the conclusion of our program. We hope you enjoyed the show. We'd like to thank all the volunteers who helped us put this program together. If you'd like this and more, follow us on Facebook, Marine Park Alliance, or go to our webpage, www.marineparkalliance.org. We'd like to wish all you out there a happy, healthy, and prosperous new year.